All right, what's cracking, everybody? New video. I know, as usual, I'm on the late freight. You guys see the thumbnail and the title of the video. So let me preface this video with the fact that I don't know the Migos music. I don't know if I've ever heard a song of theirs. And people might ask, well, then if you don't know anything about them, why are you doing this video? Well, the first reason is I know about death. And I also know what it's like to lose somebody that I love, right? And listening to all the different platforms speak about Takeoff, one thing was very clear to me. And I think that's what motivated me more. You know, I did have some of my subscribers send me DMs and emails saying, hey, do something on this. But you know what it was more than anything? It's that I heard over and over by people that knew him, by other content creators that spoke on him, that knew people that knew him, that Takeoff was, out of all the Migos, the most humble and the most quiet out of all of them. He wasn't a hothead. And I think that's why I wanted to do this. So to get into what I've heard and reiterate what I've heard and what you've probably heard, don't know how true the stuff is, but we'll go through it. So from what I heard, Jay Prince Jr., he threw something at a bowling alley or something like that, and he sent the invites out. And they say that in that, when that type of invite goes out, the gangsters of Houston show up, right? Guys that made their money in the streets, spilled blood, did whatever, but real street cats were there, showed up. And, that's their backyard, and Quavo showed up and Takeoff showed up, and, they're from out of town. And, you always got to know when you go out of town, you're going to respect where you're at. I think when Quavo and Takeoff got there with their crew, and allegedly their crew was able to make it inside with guns, I think they should have realized you're not the only ones with guns, and you are outnumbered, you are out of town. But, when you're young, you don't think about that. You think you're invincible and you can do whatever. Quavo decided to get involved in a dice game. And from what it sounded like, from what I've heard, he was getting took. He was losing everything, and the guy that was taking his money was woofing. And that's what happens when you gamble. Some people do that. But the thing is how do you go out of town and you get in people's backyards and you think you're gonna get involved in a dice game? Like, even if Quavo would have won, would he have been able to leave that place with that money? It's a dangerous thing, but again, when you're young, you don't think things through. You get caught up. Well, he got caught up, but unfortunately, he dragged his man down. And we're going to get to that in a second, too. So I saw the TMZ footage, and you hear Quavo talking, and then next thing you know, a punch is thrown, a scuffle, and a gang of gunshots ring out. Now, there's another channel, another YouTube channel that has said that the eyewitnesses say that it was actually somebody from the Migos camp that accidentally shot Takeoff. Is that true? I don't know. That's out there, and I'm just The only reason why I'm bringing that up is because imagine that. You pull out your gun to protect one dude in your crew and kill the other one. I'm sure this is something that Quavo was never going to be able to get over. And I'm sure that people, supposedly they were family. Imagine that family right now. Does that family break in two? Does one side blame the other? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just one of them things, man, when, you know, there's so much shit that goes into when somebody's killed, when somebody passes. But when they pass violently, there's a lot of hot emotions involved. And I did see also that Little Boosie was on Instagram Live, and he was talking about being a rapper sucks. That everybody wants to kill rappers now. And I'm sure, you know, Boosie was just in his emotions and his feelings, because he too said that Takeoff was a humble ass dude. And that's what's fucked up, when you lose the ones that are humble. You know, the big mouths always seem to get away, right? But when Boosie was saying, yeah, you know, it sucks to be a rapper, you know, everybody wants to kill the rappers because they can't rap. That's not what it is, Boosie. You know that. Takeoff didn't get killed because the other guy couldn't rap. Takeoff got killed because he made a bad decision to hang out in an area and be involved in some shit where lives can be taken. How many people get killed at dice games? This isn't something new. You know, when you know, it used to be that rappers rap to get out of the hood. Nowadays, rappers are rapping and staying in the hood. And you see how many times they're being killed now. And it's not because they're rappers, per se. It's because of the decisions they're making. If you choose to go where you know people are packing guns and willing to use them, and then you're draped in $1 million worth of jewelry, these are just horrible decisions, man. At the end of the day, it isn't your occupation, unless your occupation is criminality. It isn't your occupation, man. We all gotta hold ourselves responsible for the decisions that we make. Quavo was 28 years old. I mean, not Quavo. Takeoff was 28 years old. I did almost his whole life in prison in one stretch. And when you add up all my jail time, I did more than his lifetime. 28 years old. My daughter's 28. At 28, you don't even know who you are yet. You're still trying to figure it out. I'm not interested in, you know, if the case is solved or anything like that. That's for the authorities. I just hope that at some point people realize, man, make better decisions. You know, I know he's like, you know, that's my family. I'm going to be right there with him. And when shit jump, he's going to jump, you know. But if it turns out that it was his own crew that accidentally smoked him, wow. It's a damn shame. You know, there's a lesson to be learned here. Are people going to learn it? Probably not. Instead, they're going to be blinded by hate, blinded by emotion and anger. And it's probably going to be all aimed at the wrong people, the wrong person. Meanwhile, Takeoff's mom, his family, are stuck wondering, what the fuck are we going to do with the rest of our lives? Think of that. Anybody that's in the streets, anybody that's criming it, that's in that world, if you think about that and you think, damn, that's fucked up for his moms, it's fucked up for yours too if you keep making these kind of decisions. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Everybody be safe, be smart, man. And tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.